He was a star, then disappeared. Where is Martine McCutcheon now? Born Martine Kimberly Sherry Ponting on May 14, 1976 in Hackney, East London, Martine's childhood was defined by chaos and survival. Her father's violent temper cast a long shadow over her early years. She would later recall terrifying moments, one in particular when he threatened to drop her from a balcony. Her mother, Jenny, eventually escaped that toxic relationship, raising Martine alone and later marrying John McCutcheon, who gave Martine both a surname and a sense of safety she had never known. Growing up in Council Flats, life was never easy. But Jenny nurtured her daughter's creative spark, scraping together money to send her to the prestigious Italia Conti Stage School. At 10 years old, Martine stepped onto a path that would change her life forever. While other kids played in parks, she auditioned for commercials, appeared in a Kool-Aid advert, and landed her first acting role in the BBC drama Bluebirds at just 12. By her teens, she was already supporting her family with her earnings, dreaming of something bigger, something beyond the gray streets of East London. That dream exploded in 1995 when Martine joined EastEnders. Cast as Tiffany Mitchell, she became an overnight sensation. Tiffany wasn't just a character, she was Britain's sweetheart, sassy, vulnerable, relatable. Millions tuned in weekly to watch her story unfold, and Martine, barely out of her teens, became one of the most famous faces on television. Awards followed, including the National Television Award in 1997. Yet fame came with a cost: relentless filming schedules, tabloid scrutiny, and personal exhaustion. By 1998, Martine made the shocking decision to leave EastEnders. Tiffany's death, hit by a car on New Year's Eve, remains one of the soap's most iconic moments. With the nation grieving her fictional death, Martine pivoted to music. In 1999, she released her debut album, You, Me, and Us. The single Perfect Moment soared to #1, cementing her as a pop star. Her first album went platinum, followed by more hits like I've Got You and Talking in Your Sleep. For a time, it seemed Martine could do anything: act, sing, conquer every medium. But the glitter began to fade. Her second and third albums underperformed. By 2002, her record deal was dropped. Still, Martine's resilience carried her forward. She turned to theater and landed the role of Eliza Doolittle in My Fair Lady at the National Theatre, a career-defining performance that earned her the prestigious Laurence Olivier Award for Best Actress in a Musical. Yet just as quickly, illness forced her to withdraw from the show. Behind the applause and awards, her body was breaking down from chronic fatigue and later fibromyalgia, conditions she would battle for years. Then came 2003 and the film that introduced her to the world, Love Actually. As Natalie, the bubbly tea lady who wins over the Prime Minister, Martine stole hearts globally. The film became a Christmas classic, and for a moment, Hollywood's doors seemed wide open. But the glitter began to fade. Her second and third albums underperformed. By 2002, her record deal was dropped. Still, Martine's resilience carried her forward. She turned to theater and landed the role of Eliza Doolittle in My Fair Lady at the National Theatre, a career-defining performance that earned her the prestigious Laurence Olivier Award for Best Actress in a Musical. Yet just as quickly, illness forced her to withdraw from the show. Behind the applause and awards, her body was breaking down from chronic fatigue and later fibromyalgia, conditions she would battle for years. Then came 2003 and the film that introduced her to the world, Love Actually. As Natalie, the bubbly tea lady who wins over the Prime Minister, Martine stole hearts globally. The film became a Christmas classic, and for a moment, Hollywood's doors seemed wide open. But the roles that followed never matched that breakthrough, and by the late 2000s, Martine had all but vanished from the mainstream spotlight. What the public didn't see was the storm raging privately. Martine suffered miscarriages, endured relentless pain from her health conditions,
and struggled with financial turmoil that culminated in bankruptcy in 2013. It was a brutal fall for someone once hailed as Britain's golden girl. Yet through the darkness came her brightest light, the birth of her son, Rafferty, in 2015 with her husband, singer-songwriter Jack McManus. Motherhood gave Martine a new sense of purpose and anchored her through the hardest chapters of her life. In recent years, Martine has reemerged, not as the flawless star the tabloids once adored, but as a woman who has weathered storms and embraced imperfection. She joined the panel of Loose Women, unmasked herself on The Masked Singer UK, and continues to act, sing, and share her journey with refreshing honesty. Diagnosed with ADD in her late 40s, she speaks openly about mental health, body image, and living authentically. Her brother's sudden death in 2022 reshaped her outlook yet again, reminding her of life's fragility and the importance of cherishing every moment. Today, Martine McCutcheon lives quietly in Surrey, co-parenting her son after separating from Jack in 2023. At 49, she no longer chases fame. She chooses peace, health, and family. Her story is not one of a faded star, but of transformation. She survived trauma, scaled fame, lost everything, and built herself back from the ashes. Sometimes the greatest victories aren't found in headlines or awards, but in finding a life that feels like your own. Martine McCutcheon reminds us that success isn't about staying in the spotlight. It's about surviving the storms and still finding the courage to shine. If you enjoyed this story, please like, subscribe, and join us again as we explore the untold stories of celebrities you thought you knew.